There is a deeper reason why I started posting content on social media. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of my podcast. It is so crazy that I'm about to put a timer on and we're just gonna yap, trying to do minimal edits to these podcasts because a girl already makes so much content for so many other platforms. You guys will excuse the minimal editing in these videos. We're here to chit chat, we're here to have a girl time. So I hope that it's okay that we're not going to be massively editing this. So what I'm gonna be doing is setting a timer for 45 minutes and we're just gonna yap away the entire 45 minutes. And for whatever reason, I can't remember the passcode to my phone right now. Here we are. Let's get the timer going. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I definitely want to do these around sunset. It's a good time for me to record these podcasts and relax. So I feel like I want to start off with an introduction. I'm kind of going off of the top of my head here with this podcast. I feel like I have always wanted to just get on here, ramble, and talk to you guys. I never actually do it because all of my YouTube videos have themes. So I felt the podcast was a perfect way to just sit down, talk to you guys, get real, be one-on-one, and just have like a FaceTime call, if you will. The first topic I want to touch on, especially people who are maybe coming across this, you're new, you don't have any idea who I am. I'm just going to give you the rundown. My name is Tania. It's spelled really weird with an H in the Hispanic alphabet. The H is silent, so it's just pronounced Tania, Tania. And I started my online career. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a career. I got on the internet at like 12 years old and discovered MySpace. That's where everything really started for me. I learned to kind of use social media as a creative outlet very, very young. I think I was 12 or 13 when I opened my first MySpace page. And if you guys recall, you could decorate the MySpace layouts. And so I learned how to code HTML because of MySpace and eventually CSS. And that's where my online journey began, really. I would code layouts for my MySpace. Eventually that turned into me coding a website and coding basically layouts for other people to use. And then of course MySpace ended up dying. I made a few friends here and there online. That was like my first time ever making online friends, I guess you can say. And then from there it went to Tumblr, and some people went to Facebook, I guess, but I ended up on Tumblr for whatever reason. And at that point I got very inspired because I would see Tumblr was basically like a Pinterest, if you guys recall Tumblr, and I would get very inspired by all of these aesthetic photos people would reshare on Tumblr. I remember with my first job, I ended up saving up to buy a DSLR camera and started taking my own photos, my own aesthetic photos. I even painted my room, it used to be lime green and zebra print, but I painted it hot pink at that time. Pink has always been my favorite color, but I went through a little emo phase in middle school and high school. No, it was mainly just middle school. In high school, I painted my room pink. Before that, my room was always pink. It was Bratz themed, I think, pink and purple Bratz theme. And then I ended up painting it lime green when I had I don't know, a teenage crisis moment. I thought it was like a skater girl. I don't know what I was going through. I think I was very influenced by do you guys remember the scene kids and the emo scene, skater girl aesthetic from Avril Lavigne. I was going through a phase, okay? So I had a lime green room with zebra print, and that zebra print I actually drew myself on the wall and painted it. Anyway, so then I started taking my own very aesthetic photos on Tumblr, and people seemed to really like them, so they would get reshared, and I ended up gaining a following on Tumblr. And from there, you guys, I got asked to do videos of certain things. There used to be a question box on Tumblr and people would ask you questions. And I got asked to record how I did some nail design that I did. It was I think Monster energy drink inspired nails. I don't even know. But I did not want to show my face on YouTube. And from here, I discovered the YouTube world and I started watching Juicy Star 07 religiously. The funny story is I had actually heard of Juicy Star before. I had found her again at this point, but I had heard of her because I remember I had this friend from the MySpace world and she was kind of a little bit of a hater. So she was hating on Juicy Star 07 and sending me her videos. And she's like, what is this girl doing? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we were young and stupid. And so at the time, and these topics I'm going to get into more in detail on like being mindful and aware of if you're being a hater as well. Like if you have the bad energy, sometimes you have the bad energy, sometimes we have the bad energy. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Like we all go through phases, we go through things, we project. It's just life. And, you know, we're going to get into those topics. I'm not going to ramble about that. But continuing on, I had this friend, hopefully she's doing well now and she's healed and is better because she was just not very nice at all. And that's how I had heard of Juicy Star 07, but it like went over my mind because I never like saw her again. Like I wasn't really adamant about watching like YouTube videos. I more so knew YouTube to watch comedy stuff and like to watch skits. I wasn't really watching beauty content on YouTube. And when I got asked to create this nail tutorial, it made me hop back on YouTube basically. And I started to really love watching like beauty videos on YouTube. And this is when I started watching Juicy Star 07 religiously. I came across her channel again and I was like, wait, she looks very familiar. And then I was like, oh, that's right. This is the girl. And at this point, I wasn't friends with that girl anymore. And I was just like, that girl was such a hater because Juicy Star 07 was a real deal. Like that girl was the it girl. Like she was a boss babe. Like she was really doing it. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea she was getting paid on YouTube. I had no idea that like, because at the time she was not super big. She got big later on. Like I started watching her kind of at her like beginning, I guess still. And so I didn't know she was getting monetized or that her videos were monetized or that the ads on the videos, like she made money off of it. So I had no idea when I joined YouTube, you could get paid. So I just joined it to show that nail tutorial and I made a channel that didn't have like a face to it. And I would not show my face. I would just show my hands. And that channel grew to like a few thousand subscribers. Like it was for sure under 10,000, maybe close to 10,000 subscribers. And then when I graduated high school, I decided to delete that channel and I started all over with the channel that you guys know me from, which is Juicy Daily. That username was very inspired by Juicy Star 07 and I started loving Juicy Couture because Juicy Star 07 introduced me to Juicy Couture. And I was irrevocably obsessed and in love. Like on Twilight. I was so obsessed with Juicy Couture because of Juicy Star 07. I just loved the entire like aesthetic of it. The velvet bags, the little dogs, like all of it was so cutie to me. I was obsessed with that. And Victoria's Secret, I was always obsessed with. That's an obsession for another time, but my aunt got me into Victoria's Secret when I was a teenager. So yeah, that's a story for another time. But yes, I started posting videos with my face. And I still have my very first YouTube video that I ever uploaded. I first posted it on Vimeo so that I could just put it on my Tumblr because I was still scared to post my face on YouTube. And then I ended up uploading on YouTube way in the future. Like I was like, this is the first video I ever made and I showed it to you guys. That was my first video I ever recorded of myself, but it was not a video I posted on YouTube. So I posted it on Vimeo. And then years later, I can't remember if it was in 2018, 17, I don't even know what year, I decided to re-upload that first YouTube video to share with you guys. But yeah, that's how my entire journey of how I started online. But there is a deeper reason why I started posting content on social media in general and why I was so internet heavy, why I was on the computer so much. There's a lot of reasons behind that I don't always share with you guys. Definitely there was a deeper reason, a deeper meaning. And it's because my junior high years and most of high school, actually, I was bullied. And I was bullied by people who I thought were my best friends. And I was also going through a domestic violence situation at home at the same time. And I wouldn't tell anyone about this. So these friends that bullied me, they didn't really know what I was going through at home. In our Hispanic culture, we tend to like hush these things. Like we don't really, like we're not allowed to talk about it. So I never told anyone what I was going through. Everything just looked like it was normal and perfect. And people thought that I was just like this preppy girl that like, I don't really know what they thought. Like to be honest, I don't really know what they thought, but they just didn't know what was going on at home. So I can't say that those friends were, because we were in high school, so they were all, these people were also growing and learning. These people who bullied me, that's who I'm talking about. So these people who bullied me were also growing and learning. And so I don't really know that they knew, well, they didn't know what was going on at home. I know they knew what they're doing is wrong, but like they didn't understand how detrimental and messed up my mental health got because of their bullying, because I was going through what I was going through at home as well at the same time. I think if I had a more stable home life, I think that I would have been a lot stronger socially, but because of what I was going through at home, plus the bullying at school, no one really knew that the bullying was affecting me so much because of everything. But I will say it took me to the internet. All of this stuff was happening meanwhile I was on the internet, I guess, but because all of that was happening, I would like basically use the internet as my escape. Like I was always on MySpace or Tumblr. Like I would look forward to coming home to just like do that, like lock myself in my room and not talk to anyone and avoid the whole world and just escape. Okay, just escape. And I realized that I used basically social media and the internet as an escapism. And trust me, this girl's been to therapy, okay? So I know myself and I know myself pretty well, and I know I know why I did the things I did, why I do the things I do, why I reacted the way I did, and like I understand everything that I went through, and I've learned to have so much grace with myself and to go easy on myself. I used to be super hard on myself about every little thing. I was such a perfectionist. I was so, like right now, I would not be having it that the sun's going down, but you want to know what? This is kind of a vibe with my lamp and stuff. So, I learned to start juicing and using my circumstances in my favor, and I learned how to stop allowing little things and perfectionism stop me from success, stop me from doing the things I really wanted to do, stop me from basically reaching my potential and doing my best. A lot of the times we think perfectionism is doing our best, when a lot of the times it's hindering our potential because we stop ourselves from certain things because it's not perfect. Like you guys know, you get the camera to film the YouTube video, but you don't ever turn it on because you don't have a vanity that's good enough, or you don't have the lighting, or whatever it may be. You stop yourself due to perfectionism. And a lot of this stuff is like psychological. And I never realized how much I was carrying, how much I was holding. And I think that this podcast is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing to help you guys, to help me. Like talking to you guys has always been my form of escapism. When I started my YouTube channel and I found my tribe, I found my people, this is what healed me. This is what helped me. This is how I was able to move forward in life, and I was able to basically become a better person. And it's so crazy to say, and I'm not going to get emotional, but you guys have helped me through so much. Those of you who are not new here, who have followed my channels, you don't understand what you have made possible for me in my life. I don't know where I would be without you guys. I really don't. Hopefully doing some other form of creative outlet, right? But this, I don't imagine my life any other way. I am so in love with what I do, and I'm so grateful for what I have built here, what we have built here. And I just wanted to do an introduction and tell you guys what I'm about and who I am. And yes, if we want to go deeper into childhood, I guess I can give you guys a small rundown real quick, since this is like an intro. My mom is an immigrant mom. I come from immigrant parents, but my mom and dad divorced when my mom moved to the States. She remarried, and she was married for a while, is now no longer married. I mean, my mom's business is none of our business here on the podcast, so we're not going to get into that. But basically, yes, I come from immigrant parents, and I learned how to speak English when I was young, like between the ages of like 6 and 10, I believe. And so mi primer lenguaje es español. My first language is Spanish. A lot of you guys ask why I don't do Spanish content. I did have a Spanish channel and it got hacked. And then I never did another one, which I know I should. But guys, honestly, with the podcast and all my socials, I think we're gonna chill a little bit for now. I really want to be able to give you guys my best on these two channels. And if I spread myself too thin, girl, we don't want to do that. So if you guys want me to, I can do some podcasts in Spanish. I think that would be cute. But I definitely am not creating a whole other channel. Let's just put it that way. But yes, I am bilingual. hablo español and English, and I am fluent in both. I do my very best to not be pocha. What that means is I try my best to speak the Spanish correctly and not like Spanglish. But yes, that is my introduction, you guys. So now the plans I have for this podcast, and I hope you'll help me in the comment section. I have so many different topics I want to talk about, but I think some really big ones that I feel will be super helpful is basically things that help our energy. Like sometimes we don't know that we're the bully or that we're like being the negative energy basically. And I think it would be helpful to do some kind of an episode on self-awareness. And another one I really want to talk about is also self-acceptance. So it is also okay to accept our feelings because our feelings are valid about certain things. There's some people who do things to us who, we are allowed to see it for what it is and not excuse people all of the time, which is something that I was very, very, very bad at. I would excuse everyone around me because I believed the best in everyone. And even when they were doing the worst in my face, I still somehow would find a way to make it not be what I was in front of my face, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a very, what my therapist says, a very happy-go-lucky Delulu person in my relationships. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about how to see if someone has the best intentions for me. I've learned a lot about being aware, mindful, and being able to read the room, being able to read other people, and I don't mean read other people in like a weird, like reading other people way. I just mean like be able to read what place some people hold in our lives because everybody is not here forever. Some people are temporary. Not everybody has the best intentions for you, but also some people do have good intentions for you and you sabotage it by, being self-destructive because of our traumas and things like that. And I just think it's going to be so healing for me to talk about all the work that I've been doing behind the scenes. I know you guys see all the gorgeous, aesthetic, and beautiful things that I post on my other channel. And I just want to say that there is way more than meets the eye behind the scenes when it comes to that. I know I have carried myself and posted certain things that make you believe certain things about me. Not make you, but like I show the highlight reels of my life, is what I'm trying to say. I show you the beautiful things. I show you how I romanticize my life. I show you how I wake up and motivate myself to get ready, and how do I motivate myself to be creative and deliver to you guys that creativity on a silver platter. Sorry, I'm over here running out of spit. I show you guys how to basically romanticize your life, I don't show you the slump part of things. Like when I'm in a slump, I don't show you like I don't talk about the most difficult things in life, like the mental health and like things like that. I don't talk to you guys about those things. I more so show you how I overcome those things. And I feel like it's been long overdue to have a channel, a podcast, something, literally anything to share with you guys those other aspects of my life. And I think this is going to be a really, really great avenue and a really great way for you guys to get to know me even more and for me to get to know you guys more as well in the comment section and hear more about your stories. The other content that I make, it's very aesthetic and beautiful, and it's my creativity that I just basically use to just forget about the rest. Like when I turn the camera on to film a creative video, like a girly haul where everything's so beautiful that I'm holding up, or like an organization video or anything like that on my other channel, I do it with a cinematic eye and I think, ooh, where can I place the camera for this to look beautiful? Or like, how can I make this look aesthetic? And it really does help me escape and help me forget about everything else. If there are any troubles, anything that I don't want to think about, once that camera goes on, girl, it's showtime and I get to really escape. And I have been able to build that for myself. And I hope that you guys can see that, I hope that it's transparent enough. I am pausing. We're going to cut here. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to edit very much of this. There will be some cuts because sometimes a girl has to gather her thoughts, but I'm going to try to not edit much, if anything at all. I should have written down like some 50 facts about me in order to keep this video flowing smoothly, but I'm kind of just winging it. And if I'm honest, I kind of am like that in life. I'm kind of a winger. I just wing it. I do have ADHD. I think that I didn't know for a very long time that I had ADHD. I've had people try to tell me that I have ADHD, and I was like, no, I'm not hyperactive. Like, I had a very stereotypical idea of what ADHD meant. I think I have more like ADD because I can be hyperactive actually. I don't know. I have like moments of like hyperactivity and then moments of like not. Like, I'm very, very, when I'm active, I'm active. Like, active. Like, I get things done, girl. Like, I hyper focus. And when I can't focus, I can't focus at all. It's so hard. But I do have ADHD, and I have learned lots of ways to cope and deal with my ADHD. Am I perfect? Have I got it all figured out? Absolutely not. But I can help you guys with the things I have figured out and have found that work for me, like getting a little treat before I start working. Wanted to also mention about the ADHD because that's a topic we are going to touch on. Another thing that I feel like I want to talk about is definitely domestic violence. I want to bring awareness to that on this channel just because it's something I feel very, very, very passionate about. So we will for sure be having some topics about that. Once I can gather my brain on what I want to cover on those topics, I want that video to be very well thought out just because it's a very, very touchy subject. It can be very controversial. And I want to make sure that I am giving you my experience and I'm being unbiased just because I did experience this stuff. I did go through these things. I don't want to be super biased with what I'm going to say because domestic abuse is a whole beast in its own. It's something that's everybody's situation's different. It's very difficult to talk about and to, know what to do and to give you the one twos. Like, I mean, even me, like, anyone who has gone through it knows that there is not really a pamphlet guideline for these things. Like, everybody's situation is so different. And you just don't know. You just don't know. I try not to be one of those people that's gonna like to yell at you and tell you what to do when we all know that it's a lot easier said than done. And it's like so hard to go through those things. It's so difficult to overcome those things. If you are somebody who has survived that, I want to like just give you a hug because that is one of the most difficult things to go through in life, I feel. So I just want to give you a hug because nobody should be treating you that way. My heart just goes out to you. It's a topic I'm very passionate about, and also a topic that has gotten me in a lot of trouble in the past because I have been very empathetic towards other women that have gone through this. Sometimes I get myself in the past, I got myself in a little bit of hot fire because I always wanted to help. And sometimes you have to realize that you can't actually help someone who isn't ready to help themselves, more so. It's not that they don't want to, because they want to help themselves, but they're just not ready to. And then you get yourself caught in the middle, and it's like, I'm telling you guys, it's a very sensitive topic that I think we're going to delve in when I'm ready to talk about it. But I think if I give you guys my experience and tell you guys what I've learned, I think there's no harm in that. You know what I mean? I also want to really, really talk about, us as women and the expectations that women are placed in, and even like traditional things people expect. I like to consider myself a very open-minded person, that I'm not super traditional. I have a few traditional like morals. Like, I have a very traditional moral compass, but I am very open-minded at the same time, and that surprises a lot of people because they think that I am like super super traditional, and then they learn that I'm not because I'm like 30 and I don't even have kids yet, and like even though I waited until marriage to even like consider the idea of kids, if that makes sense. So I am like, see what I mean? That confuses a lot of people because they're like, you waited until getting married to have kids or to entertain the idea of kids, but you're in your 30s now. Where are the kids? And that's another topic we're going to get into that I really, really want to talk about. And also the expectation of a woman to pop up pregnant right after she got married, because that's a comment I got a lot as soon as I posted my wedding. If I was bloated a little bit or even looked a little bit, I don't know, was wearing something that maybe didn't flatter me or something, the first comment's like, she's pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. And I just laugh at it. It's really not that serious. Like those comments are like, I always try to tell people not to comment that, because you never know what a woman's going through. If she's going through infertility, or maybe she has like health issues that's causing the bloating. Like, you just don't know what a woman's going through. Some women have PCOS, some women have endometriosis. Some women could be having cervical cancer, and all of that causes bloating in that tummy area. And it's just never nice to like comment on that stuff. You know what I mean? It's not nice to assume anyone's pregnant. And I hope that we're getting into the era of like social media and life where we know not to like say that. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm blessed enough that I'm not going through any of those things. So it is not a super touchy topic for me. And I also want to talk about women's healthcare and things I've gone through. I was told that I needed a hurry to have children. And whenever I ended up seeing a different doctor and got another opinion, I was told that that was kind of bogus, and that that was not true, that I was very healthy and that everything looked really great, and that this other doctor told me this because of my age, basically, and because they weren't clear enough about what they were saying. I thought there was something wrong with me because I had some cysts in my ovaries. And basically, now I'm delving into the topic. Let's just wait for the podcast episode, and then I will talk to you guys a little bit more about that. These are all topic ideas I wanted to discuss and talk to you guys in this first episode. I don't know which one I'm going to touch on first. I have so many ideas. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for this. Like, I have been wanting to just talk to you guys for so long. There's so many things that I don't talk about, that I hold in. There's so much that I feel like sometimes silence is the best. Like, silence, and this is another topic. Sometimes hushing it speaks way louder than words ever could. And this comes to in regards to just everything. Like, there's some things that are better unsaid, and there are some things that I'm still uncomfortable to talk about, even starting this podcast. And I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to do an episode on why I prefer silence with certain things and why I think that it's respectful and better, and give you guys kind of like my take and my advice on basically how to just know when oversharing is enough. Because I tend to overshare, at least in person, like with like friendships in person and people in person, social interactions. I tend to be a little bit of an oversharer, and I have had to learn to stop, because everybody's not listening with the best intentions, and everybody is taking what you're saying with their own lens and their own perspective. Your intentions could be clear. Your intentions could be the best intentions, and somebody will still find a way to twist it and make it something it's not. So there's another topic we're going to get into. We're going to end today's podcast episode with this. I'm going to talk to you guys where I'm at in life now, kind of how I got here, and give you guys a rundown. I told you guys how I started social media. I have given you guys some ideas and some things I've been through in my life that we're going to touch on this podcast. And now I just want to delve into where I'm at in life now. I did grow up in a small town in Texas, and I did move to LA almost 2.5 years ago now. I have to say it's the best decision that my husband and I have ever made. We didn't know if we were going to actually stay here past like the 1 or 2 year mark. And we're going on 3 years now. And a lot of people ask about what our plans are. And I really don't like to talk about that. I really don't like to tell anybody publicly what our plans are unless it's set in stone. And honestly, there are certain things we are still not sure yet. We still don't know. We get the question of like, will we ever go back to Texas or not? Honestly, I have no clue. I had a few people asking about moving to LA and what that's like and how we did it and how it's going. So I will delve into that as well. And I think I want to make an entire episode on like moving to a new place and settling, and like the scary things that come with it, and like how to overcome it and how to adjust, and how to adjust to just big changes in life in general. I am a full-time content creator as well. So all I do while I'm here in LA is just content creation. I was in college for a computer science degree, and I guess I'll catch you up to speed on that. So when I moved, I actually was not, I was able to transfer for like, not transfer. When I moved, I was able to do online classes for like one semester, and the rest of the classes I was supposed to do were online. So I ended up having to drop out. I was going to register at a community college here in LA, because you cannot go to university here unless you go to community college first, unless you have some kind of like a scholarship, or I don't know. I don't know, but it's like literally impossible to apply for a university here without going to community college first. And I was going to go through with it. And then that year we were getting married. So I didn't. I decided to focus on the wedding since it was basically cutting close. So, with all of the new avenues that I started exploring in LA, and I will get into that as well, plus the wedding that year, I ended up just dropping out, and I have not gone back because life has been lifing. I'm going to be honest. Life has been lifing. So the wedding happened, and I also got into a new business venture at the time, which is managing other content creators. And that also takes up a bit of my time as well. And so, also with that, and then all of the events, I started getting invited to a lot of different events. And my job of content creation and YouTube and all of this world has just become so much more tangible since I moved here. I cannot explain to you guys what I mean by that, really, besides like how it sounds. Like, there's actual events, actual networking in person. There's actual like meetings you can attend in person. Like, everything is now so much more tangible, and I want to bring you guys into this world more, just because I have been very afraid to vlog certain things about like my life here now, because I wanted to keep my content original to what you guys were watching before I moved here. I don't want to be like, oh, she changed so much because she's in LA now. But you want to know what? In life, we change, we evolve. Like, things do grow and change. Like, who I am as a person, never. Like, I still have the same values, the same morals. That's never changing, you guys. But my lifestyle has changed drastically. And with that came that fear of like losing you guys, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, what if they hate me now? And we all have these little like moments of self-doubt and these thoughts. And it's normal. It's perfectly normal. But I was so hard on myself. I'm like, no, why am I thinking this way? Because they should be happy for me and my growth. But you want to know what? Like, some people just stop aligning with you when you move to a different like phase in your life. And that's okay. Like, some people are going to leave, some people are going to come. People come and go in any area of life, including this one, which is what I do here online. And I had to become very accepting of that and very mindful and just honest with myself about it. And that eliminated so much fear. And now that's why we're here doing this podcast, because finally, I was able to say, you know what? I am still the same me as when I stepped foot here, and I have learned so much, and I have grown so much, and have so much to talk about to you guys and so much to give. And with that, my loves, we conclude our very first ever podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. If you stayed until the end, give this a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, don't forget to follow and don't miss my future podcasts. There's a lot of interesting topics we're going to touch on. And as always, I am listening to your suggestions. If you guys don't follow me on my other social media platforms, make sure you go and follow me, as I'm always asking for your opinions, your feedback. And of course, I want to make sure that these podcast episodes are touching on subjects that we need to hear about and that we need to talk about. And, as girls, we got to have each other's backs. We got to be each other's friends. Like, we cannot just be we cannot be going against each other. The world is already against us enough. Like, we should all be just rooting for each other and in each other's corner. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. I love you. We're losing sun here. As you guys can see, the sun is almost completely nearly gone. But I think I like doing this at sunset. What do you guys think? I think it's so vibey. And the next time we need to have a little tea or something while we're filming as well and set the vibes. But I did want to get this podcast episode up for you guys. All right, I love you. I will see you in the next podcast episode. Bye.